The latest updates from Xien and Junseo are pretty much confirming what we've all been speculating about their relationship. On February 21st, Xien posted a clip on her Instagram where she's playfully mimicking Junseo with a friend. Check it out.
야, 시안아.
At first, I thought, yup, it seems Xien is out here proving she's got Junseo wrapped around her finger. Like, she's finally laughing about him calling her hey rather than calling her by her name. Doesn't that mean she's successfully tamed Junseo, the guy who said being rough is in his nature and it would be hard for him to change? But now, it looks like he's totally fallen under the power of the woman, lol. But then, a few hours later, Junseo's reaction video dropped. Then I was like, oops, was that Xian's cue to tell us to get ready for her sweethearts video which was about to drop? The timing for the two posts and the content connecting them together is just too coincidental if you ask me. Anyways, his reaction video with his friends, well, you know. Things got very interesting pretty fast. First, I've never seen the red flag honored by anyone until seeing Junseo and his friends hahaha. Was his friend really serious when he said he didn't know its meaning at first? He said he just thought that lots of people were showing his friends so much love until he understood its meaning. I almost choked laughing, OMG. The video was funny, telling and apologetic. Let's quickly talk about the important aspects that reveal that Junseo and Xien are currently still dating. Besides his words, his body language also gives us a lot of hints. I mean, just by seeing his body language and how he fidgets when talking about Xien makes it pretty obvious that the feelings are still there. Sure, he had a lot of body postures and movements throughout various scenes, but when it came to Xien, his reactions were completely different and super telling. And when he said this.
자, 이 포인트가 왜 나왔을까요?
그쵸. 원래 자상한 편이 아니시잖아요. 본인 여자한테만 자상하잖아요.
제 여자일 거라고 생각했나봐요.
You already know that they are still together. He actually said he gave her the seatbelt because he thought she was already his OMG. So Xien is his. Oh my God! He talked about two key moments on the show. First was the dessert date in Inferno. He said Sian crossed the river of no return when she showed interest in him during their first dessert date after she won the walking the log game. That was when he made up his mind to go after her.
이 프로그램의 모든 판도를 바꿔버린 이 엄청난 사건입니다. 시안이는 되돌아올 수 없는 강을 건넜어요.
이런.
I guess her showing interest in him first really gave him the drive to go fully in on her. He needed someone who could boldly match his energy and respond to his emotions. That date made him realize Xien was the one who could truly respond positively to his feelings. This means they were both fit for each other because they both work with feelings. The producers said they've been trying to get Junseo on the show since season 1, so it's quite obvious that he must have felt ready to fully take this leap before going on the show. Then, he described liking Xien even more after the campfire scene because she created a good vibe and lifted the overall mood of that scene. Now, the situation with Eugene. That was a whole other story. The misunderstanding between him and Eugene was so big that he didn't give her his chocolate. His chocolates went to Min-Sol and Xien. He actually felt bad about totally misjudging Theo and Eugene. He thought something was brewing between them and wanted to give them space to explore it. What's surprising is that even after Eugene told him that she and Theo were just friends, that nothing romantic can happen between her and Theo, he still didn't buy it. He ignored that and admitted that he thought he was doing the considerate thing by giving them space. He was even feeling cool with himself when telling the ladies he was giving them space, not realizing those two were genuinely not romantically interested in each other on the show. Personally, I now feel that he stuck to that conclusion that night because he had started taking a liking to Xien. Xien had also mentioned during the campfire that Theo was her #1 choice, so he thought her feelings for Theo had really grown, so for him not to feel too bad about taking away his buddy's chances, he decided to convince himself that Eugene and Theo were compatible and building a connection, which would help him feel freer to pursue Xian. Although, that is just my opinion. So, he felt good about his moves on telling the ladies he was giving Eugene and Theo space and being considerate until he realized how wrong it felt after watching himself on screen. He apologized and thank goodness we've gotten clarity on that now, but that isn't the main point here. The main point is that this man basically misinterpreted almost everyone's feelings on the show except for the connection between him and Xian. Actually, he connected the dots between himself and Xian so well that he felt Xian was flirting with him in the pool. And honestly, I totally feel the same. Xian was definitely flirting with him in that pool, even though she failed to admit it and pretended she didn't sense he had started showing interest in her, until he later verbally confirmed his feelings towards her that night. I truly believe Xian liked him at first sight, then he caught up with her. This leads us to the second important moment he mentioned, which was when Xian asked if he could fall in love in 10 days and he said he wasn't sure and would love to find out. Then his friend added that it was a key moment because Junseo thought that he might already be like that at that point. Meaning he was implying that Junseo was already in love at that point.
왜냐면 지금 내가 그럴 것 같거든.
Keep in mind that this is a friend that is familiar with Junseo. He's always in most of his videos, that shows how close they are, and I believe he is very aware of Junseo's feelings. Actually, his friends analyzed him the best. First, his friend mentioned Junseo will only make good gestures to his woman and no one else. Then at another time, he analyzed Junseo's face. He said his face changes when he looks at Xian compared to when he's looking at others. That's huge. Junseo was so serious about Xian that he purposely didn't share his intentions with anyone for strategic reasons. This is why his plans worked. I wish more people would learn this strategy on these dating shows, and stop sharing who they're into with everyone, because most of the time, it might be a disadvantage that'll lead to unnecessary competition. He was fully immersed in the game that he did all he had to do to get her to fully open up to him within a day, which is pretty impressive. It just shows that he really took the show seriously. When Junseo first saw Xian, he said that he almost picked her, but ended up choosing Eugene because he thought he'd feel more comfortable with her. But after realizing his mistake, he now knows Xian was always the one.
일단은 시안이를 고민했었고요. 네, 시안이를 고민했었고.
정면에 계시기도 했었어.
네, 시안 씨를 고민한 이유는 완전 센터에 딱 뚜렷하게 각인되는
눈에
이미지.
맞아.
약간 분위기가 있어. 외모 그 이상의 뭔가를 가지고 있는.
His body language when talking about Xian was also a huge giveaway. At one point, he pulled on his pants so much when talking about her. Why was he like that? Isn't that a sign that his heart was racing? You wouldn't expect he'll still act like that if they had broken up, right? The producers were so excited about this season that they teased before the show started that we complained and that they listened. Meaning they listened and produced probably not just one real-life couple but two in season 4. They added that two main actors became a real couple and that they'll give them a chance to break the news to fans whenever they feel ready. This means the producers have confirmed that there are real couples still dating this season. And the best part is the fact that Xian acted the ya with friend LOL. She now finds it funny that he used to just call her, hey, instead of her name. It's cute because she can laugh at it now, knowing it's all in the past, and she successfully tamed the almighty Tarzan ha. Isn't it obvious that these two are still together and dating happily? I really hope they stay together and continue to be happy for a long time. What do you think about Junseo's reaction video and Xian's post? Do you have any thoughts on what's going on between them? Let's talk in the comments.
인기 폭발이야. 인기 4명? 하지만 여기서 뽑힌 사람은 누구다?
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and like the video.